So, let's explain the use of some of the kit we've got here. Now, I mean, interestingly, everybody knows this iconic shape of helmet. Why was it designed in that shape?
That was actually taken from the military. The British Army used a helmet very, very similar to that, and if you look at some of the old ones, you see it.
Yeah.
In Britain, in this county indeed, in the Surrey Rifle Volunteers, which was a reserve formation, you will see pictures of the Epsom Derby, and you'll say, oh, they're policemen there. They're not. At the turn of the century, they were the forerunners of the TA at the Epsom Derby, but the Met then overtook this style of helmet on, and another one broadly similar as a general beat duty helmet, but it comes straight from the British Army design. Previously, the top hat was. This is somebody you can go to and was for a long, long time they identified the constable on the beat and the police sergeant supervising the constable on the beat. Can I tell you briefly about some of this other kit?
Please do, yeah.
This predates the police force. In London, in the settlements in London, the small villages before the police force, somebody was appointed to do the night watch. They would stay awake. If strangers were sighted and he couldn't deal with them, he would sound the rattle and awake the population who would come to assist the watchman to deal with possible undesirables from outside. That was superseded later. The Met Police took on the rattle, was superseded later by the whistle.
Yeah.
And then in the 1920s, the police posts and police boxes with telephones that the public can use for improved police communication. In 1934, the police area wireless car system. Then it was one-way messages, Morse code to the car from Scotland Yard, who hoped the crew would get the message, and somebody from the station would also be sent.
So
later
there's no way of acknowledging
no, they just went to the call and somebody from the station also was sent. But towards the end of the Second World War, two-way radio was introduced. And this particular car was a central London area wireless car in the 1970s, which has got multi-channel, two-way radio and other bits and pieces, and was fully equipped with audio and lighting equipment. Later on, in the late 60s, the local personal radio came into being, and then of course thereafter modern technology has overtaken all this and overtaken me, because 10 years ago I was away, and with others we volunteer to assist with looking after the collection and hopefully assist members of the public who wish to make inquiries possibly about their ancestors in the Met or other police forces.
And I notice you also have police training, which is
several.
And I mean, if you actually struck somebody with these, you would do some serious damage. So what are the guidelines?
In my time, this is a lignin-vitis truncheon. The truncheon would be held in an inside pocket. Yeah. I used to have a tie knot in mine to avoid the knee, with just a little bit showing, and you could remove the thumb round the back of the hand, and it would be there, but could be used to block strikes, or in extremis be used as a weapon, for instance, against the legs or something like that. I've never used it for the purposes it was intended in my 36 years service. However, I have used it for breaking into premises where people have believed to be collapsed and in need of assistance, and for straightening out mudguards and things in crash. And the older truncheons didn't have the strap.
Okay.
And another bit which might be of interest, I don't know if Glenn wants to speak about the duty armband.
Well, the duty armband would take, when you were on duty, you wore the armband. When you went home, you still wore your uniform. In fact, you wore this all the time. But you would take the armband off. And if the armband was off, you were at home having your tea, You weren't on duty. And then
But
if
you were still a policeman.
You were still a policeman, but you were not on duty. So when you had to go back on duty, the armband went back on. So if you went and saw the copper having his tea with it on, you wouldn't disturb him. He's not working.
Now, obviously, crime writing is your profession, and in your hobby, you're involved with crime as well.
Indeed, indeed.
It's obviously a passion of yours. So, what actually got you into it?
I used to write for another television program called Crown Court, way back in the early 80s, something like that. And I became fascinated with court cases. I sat around trials, went to see Dennis Newson's trial. And then one day, Robert Love, who was head of drama in Scottish television, said to me, "One of my television series is The Drastic Detective." And I said, "Okay, I've written a detective series before." So when I wrote one, I found the name Taggart on the gravestone. I'll call him Chief Inspector Taggart. Went on for another 25 years after that.
Oh, it must have been a very steep learning curve because you're suddenly writing police procedure. Where did you go to research?
In reality, detectives will sit and do a lot of work. Whereas it's only the stuff. Taggart was the main man, so he had to go out and do all the interviewing and have meet ladies and do all this kind of thing.
And he was always...
it wasn't realistic as a police procedure. If every TV drama series was realistic as a police procedural, it would look very, very boring.
Yes, I can imagine, because you've got to make it entertaining, haven't you? And somebody sitting in an office just checking through papers is not really going to excite anyone.
Exactly.
So, where did you get the crimes to structure the dramas around?
The crimes in Taggart, a lot of them came from real life cases. And I used to scour real murder cases. One of my favourites was one in Texas, where a guy tried to do away with his wife. So he and his mate got a cardboard box full of rattlesnakes, and they held her upside down with her head in the rattlesnakes, and they wouldn't bite her, they wouldn't kill her. So they hold her out, and they said, "What are we going to do now?" So they ran a bath, and they put her in the bath, and then they threw an electric fire into the bath to try and electrocute her. And it shocked her, but she didn't die. So they pulled her, and these are the kind of things that happen in real life. In TV murder dramas, people get shot and get the throats cut. It's always clean. It's never really messy, and it's really messy in real life.
I can imagine. And the other thing that always amazes me with police dramas as well is whenever a policeman takes out a mobile phone and dials a number, it always works, and somebody is at the other end, isn't it?
Exactly.
Is it just one of those dramatic things to...
You don't see them waiting 10 minutes to try and get through, do you?
No, you don't.
And you don't see a policeman on the computer for 10 minutes trying to get the stop the wheel going around, do you? That's what really happens.
So once you got underway with this drama series, could you see it forming some sort of career path? Or did it have longevity in your eyes? Because Taggart has transformed, hasn't he? Taggart has become a new Taggart and another Taggart.
Yeah, it was a one-off in 1983, and then they said, "Can we have another one?" And then another one, and then we got to about 1987, and I come on, this is getting a bit of a habit. How long is this going to go on? It's going to stop. Eventually somebody will say enough. And then I think around about 1998, when I'd been doing it for 16 years, I decided, Robert Love produced it, retired, and I thought it's time to go for the other things, and other people took over. But it went on 25 years.
And he was famously kind of grumpy sort of guy, wasn't he?
He was, but he was a lovely man. Mark McManus was really nice. He was not actorish, if you know what I mean. He was really accessible, very, very friendly. On occasion he'd be chatting, he'd meet armies of little kids around him and he'd be signing autographs. He was not one of these actors who'd vanish into his caravan and then you didn't see him again for the rest of the day.
Yeah, because some famously become very theatrical, don't they? And you don't get that kind of connection with it, do you?
He was an exception.
And when you were looking at the city it's all set in, what were you looking for in that city? What were you looking to portray? portray?
I initially thought, well, set it in Edinburgh, but I was told you can't, because Scottish Television, who produced it, were in Glasgow. Because I come from Edinburgh, I was in Edinburgh public school boy, and I didn't even know Glasgow when I started. I'd been to Glasgow 3 times in my life, so I thought I've got to write about a Glasgow copper. So I went up to Glasgow, spent about a week going around looking for grimy locations in Glasgow pubs and talking to Glasgow people, and I was a bit of a fraud to start with, you know.
Did you find that? I mean, the thing that I think maybe works well, because it was so gritty, and the Glasgow accent is very harsh, isn't it? You know, it's almost intimidating, a bit like in some ways a Northern Irish accent can be quite intimidating when put in the right way. And maybe Taggart had that sort of almost authority that came from it.
Yeah, Mark did. I certainly didn't, because I was speaking in the tones of an Edinburgh public schoolboy, and especially making the first few Taggarts. You know, I'd put something in the script. We had a stage manager, and a big guy called Joe, a big Glasgow guy called Joe, and he'd say, "Hey, Glenn, read Glasgow Copper, wouldn't he say that?" You know, say, "Okay, give me the line now. What would he say?" You know.
I mean, how did you immerse yourself in the sort of culture where Taggart found himself? Because you've got that situation where, as you say, your background is Edinburgh public school boy, and suddenly you've got crimes being committed by lowlifes in bad areas. Had you hadn't visited those before, what would you do then?
I was taken into lots of Glasgow pubs. If I sat around long enough in Glasgow pubs, I'd get loads of ideas for murder cases and loads of wonderful conversations with people, and I'd get the lingo.
I think we have to leave it there because